First, let me say, for all those that are honoring and celebrating Passover, happy Passover. And then let me just acknowledge George Melton and what he has done with this group and what they have all put together. That's a tough group. I don't know that I would have taken them on. So, So I also want to let Rod off the hook. You know, there really is no rush. Yesterday was fine, you know. And if we don't get it till tomorrow, that works too. It's all good. This is extraordinary. Where does this come from? Again, I want to thank this ensemble for what you have done. 12 years ago, I just thought of this while I was listening to the song. That's why I'm doing this. 12 years ago, I began a new center in San Diego on Easter Sunday. My good friend Gordon Bishop and I decided that it was time that there should be a Center for Spiritual Living. At the time, it was the Religious Science, Downtown Church of Religious Science in San Diego. And the process of our evolving to open up that center was an interesting one, to say the least. And we did a lot of visioning about opening up this center, and mostly over what we call communion. It was really just a glass of wine. And Donna Thomas is here with us today. She was one of our first graduating practitioners out of the center. So this becomes kind of a special moment for me. I was just like, wow, to watch all of this coming about. It's a bit much. All the time. So I'm so thrilled and so excited that each and every one of you is here today, that you are in that place of representing and realizing the face of God within you, as you, and is you. The divine is already there. The essence of who you are is a spiritual being. You already are infinite and eternal and immortal. And you are having a human experience. And the wonderful thing that we get to celebrate in this center, in which we call ourselves the Center for Spiritual Living, teaching the principles of science of mind, is that we are a philosophy. We are an accumulation of all of the truth and all of the teachings and all of the wisdom that we can discover anywhere and everywhere in the world. And we don't have a need to create another religion. There are more than enough religions to satisfy everyone out in the world. What our founder, Ernest Holmes, really wanted to achieve was an opportunity for individuals to discover and reveal truth wherever they were to find it, and to take that truth that they discovered and they revealed back into wherever they were finding themselves showing up. So you could take this back to your church, your temple, your synagogue, your study hall, wherever you wanted to show up, because truth will show up everywhere. And it's not dependent upon religion. Religion is the way, the method, the form that we have often taken as human beings in order to come together and to gather in a place by which we could acknowledge that there was a faith that we held. And Dean spoke about this faith and the many levels at which it would arise, because you could have faith in that the sun would show up each morning. You could have faith that if you planted a garden, that the seeds that you planted there would actually produce and harvest what you thought they were. That if you were going to plant a tomato seed, it wouldn't show up as a watermelon. It would show up as a tomato seed. The faith in it was absolute. We have faith that life is the principle that we are experiencing and expressing. And that's one of the major principles of this teaching, this philosophy of science of mind, is that life truly is all there is. Life is another word for the divine. Life is another word for truth. Life is another word for God, Muhammad, Allah, however you want to name it. Life is that essence that is within everything. The mountains are alive. The ocean is alive. The very air that we breathe is alive. You are alive. And you are alive more than in your physical body. You are alive in the spiritual essence of who you are. That is the truth that is everywhere, and it is the teaching that is behind all of the religions, all of the faiths, all of the traditions that I have been able to study, that I have learned from whatever Ernest Holmes was studying, and from all of the teachers that I have been a student of. That is the principle that I have garnished out of every one of those. Life is truth. And I have faith in this thing called life. And I know in my mind and in my heart and in my soul that there is only one life, and that this life is perfect, and this life is God's life, and this life is my life and your life right here and right now. And that's what we are living. That's what we are teaching. In today's reading, for those of you who have been traveling along with us on this journey this year of reading the Science of Mind textbook in a year, you know that each day there's a passage or a meditation that has been formulated by one of our ministers, Edward Viejo, in the Santa Rosa Church, where he has selected a certain part of the Science of Mind textbook that we can read every day, and by the end of the year we'll have accomplished reading the entire textbook. And I tell you, it's really the only way to do it. Because if you sit down and try to read it from cover to cover, you will do as Dean does often. It's like, what?